When it comes to dating, why don't men like being in competition with other men? Soon as a man finds out women has options, he bow out. Women are constantly competing with each other. So you guys see the statement from Latoya Hill. That's what she said. I see Ricky shaking his head already. Let's go ahead and talk about it. Why don't men like being in competition with other men?
Because we want to know who the baby daddy is. Next question.
That's real.
That's the shit. Like, we want to know who the baby daddy is. Fuck you talking about? Like, women, y'all think like this? This is so stupid. Like, y'all really starting to irk my fucking nerves, bro. Like, bro, don't know. Like, the truth of the matter is a lot of dudes out here raising kids that believe they theirs and they not, bro. That these shows we watching, Maury and Paternity Court, the percentage, those are infinitesimal. The percentage is way greater, bro. Don't nobody want to be sitting up here starting with you about who dicking you down and counting back days with you about who fuck who and when, bro. Nah, bro. We want to know that that's our kid. Next question.
All right. Go ahead, Travis.
Yeah, man, I think it's just because, you know, those men then figured out the game already. If you got to compete for a woman as a man, you already lost. I say it all the time. Like, women got two sets of rules. They got a set of rules for the guys that they like. And they got a set of rules for everybody else. So if you're competing for her, then you in that everybody else group, and you already lost already. So she'll never respect you, or she'll never feel privileged to be there with you, knowing that you just jumped through hoops and all kind of hurdles and shit to be with her. So I think, you know, men that refuse to compete understand that. Now at the end of the day, that's not saying that men are delusional enough to believe that an attractive woman is just only talking to us when we first meet her. That's just not realistic. But in terms of like making that man compete for you, you know, that right there speaks volumes as to your placements, as to your level of importance. Because fact is, for every man for every 10 dudes that's competing with her, is one that's just showing up, doing whatever you want to do and getting all those benefits anyway. So I think, you know, men that move like that understand the game, and they refuse to play it, as Ricky always so eloquently touches on.
Let me say this. I can understand how women look at this and say, hey, like, I'm just out here trying to find somebody. Like, if I'm dating this guy and I'm dating you, like, it's kind of not fair. I'm trying over here, you know? And I can understand that. But we as men have an understanding that there are two groups of men that we would be competing with, and not one group. Is one group that, you know, are like us, other guys that are trying to date you, trying to take you out, stuff like that. Then there's another group, and I do say group possibly, probably one or two dudes that have been in your life for about 2 years on and off, and they coming through piping you down every now and then, and that is like literally your comfort zone. So if one of these dudes don't work out, or this dude don't piss you off, you're going to call your dude over there. He ain't got to buy nothing, pay for nothing, take you nowhere. He comes through, pipes you down, gets up and leave. And so there's a group of men that don't want you, but is piping you down every now and then, or on a normal basis. And then you got a group of dudes like us trying to take you out also. So it's kind of like, I'm not going through all that. Because if your phone just buzzing left and right, I want to be the dude that's piping you down just like these others. I don't want to be the cornball. I want to be the dude that's piping you down. So once I see certain, you know, sides of you where your attention is, oh yeah, I'm going out tonight. Oh, okay, cool. I'm still going to pursue you in a certain kind of way. But in my mind, I'm like, all right, I'm just going to smash, because I want to be in a come through, pipe you down whenever I want to club. Let the other dudes try to wife you up.
And you know what? Just to put a little more color on Mr. Let Go's painting there, I think that's the reality because the game's not fair. You know, look, Mr. Let Go could be coming in, busting her down. She giving him top, and he's putting in little to no effort. There's just something about him that she likes and is attracted to, rather. And then you have this other gentleman who's putting in effort, being romantic, rubbing her feet, kissing her on the lips, writing her poetry. And he got to work hard just for her to give him an inch. You know what I mean? I mean, that's the reality. You know, and so why put yourself in that position for you to look like somebody going to win and somebody going to lose? That's one thing that you know for sure. So.
For real, here's the thing that I would say. Men understand that we always in competition with one another. We're always in competition. However, we don't want to be in. See, what I think women want is what do they call that thing? Like in Rome, in ancient Rome, where they would just, be having these games and these fights and all this other stuff, and it's just
like gladiatorial games.
Gladiator. They want blood sport, right? They want you out there picketing and campaigning for them and da 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 da. Nah, that's not how men operate. Men understand we get who we qualify. Why? Because we're constantly having to prove ourselves. We're constantly having to earn our value in this society, right? We constantly have to do that. I know it a lot of times, like it just sounds like rhetoric to these women or whatever, or people just pulling stuff out their butt. No, I understand that women are born with inherent value to a large degree. Men have to earn and make their way in this society. So, we not going. I think about growing up on the block, man. When I was a shorty. And me and one of my guys, like, we discovered we like the same shorty, man. We came to a consensus, man. We ain't finna fight and go at it over her, man. If she show you the rhythm, she show you the rhythm. It is what it is. If she show me the rhythm, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna take her up through that. It is what it is, right? And so, we not finna do no blood sport over you. We ain't finna do gladiator school over you. It's not that men don't like being in competition with one another, because the things that we compete for against one another are the things that sharpen us and make us better as contributors to society, not to win your affection. Right? Like, I'm not finna go bust Trill upside the head and say, look, I bust Trill upside the head for your. Nah, that's not how that works, man.
Really, remember we talked about and this is many episodes ago, but we talked about a rapper who lost his life because he accidentally fell asleep over a female's place. You could actually be put in danger by her messing with multiple men and you getting too comfortable, so to speak, right? Because even if you're not in competition with him, he may be in competition with you. And you got to literally look over your shoulder. In these days and times, this is a very dangerous thing. Why put yourself in that position?
And I don't think women know how much. I don't think let me say this. I don't want to put an age on it, but I see this with younger women. I don't think you younger ladies realize how much y'all putting dudes' lives in jeopardy with these games. Y'all keep playing with them like that. I know that Zach Rap. I mean, I know the other people know in the comments too. That show that we talked about, that particular rapper. Rest in peace to him. Well, yeah, y'all putting many of men's lives in danger playing them games like that, man. And that's not cool at all.
Yeah, I think people move with just the wrong mindset, especially young dudes, man. Like, you shouldn't have to earn anybody. Like, like you earn your career, you earn your money, you earn a position, but I shouldn't have to earn somebody's affection. It's either we click and we compatible or we not. So just what I tell dudes all the time, like, just flash interest. You ain't gotta never chase no woman, never chase nobody. You let her know that you interested as bluntly as you possibly can, or as subtle as you want to, however you want to play it. You know what I'm saying? Whether you got some finesse or whether you just come straight out and tell her. But all you can do is show interest, put the ball in her court, and then wherever it's gonna go, it's gonna go. But this whole, I need flowers every day. I need a good morning text every day. I need you to prove to me that I should be dating you is outrageous. Like and at the end of the day, like that's just with anything in life. Like the higher you elevating status, the less work you got to do to get benefits. So if you're gonna work toward anything, you need to work toward elevating your status, work toward getting some money, work toward, you know what I'm saying, like building your relationships, building your network, shit like that. Like that's what you should be working toward. And if you work toward those things, the women will fall in your lap easily. You know what I'm saying? But if you spend your time working to earn a woman's affection and attention, then you missing money on one end. And then for two, you showing her that it's not a privilege to be with you on the other. So don't chase shit.
That's all I was about to say, bro. Like fuck, like in competition for what, dog? Like y'all outnumber us fucking 10-1 in most cities. Like for what? Like, man, like the crazy part is like with the whole posting, like if a good dude in here about his business, like what are options you got that's better than me? You know what I'm saying? What other if I'm stepping in you and you still talking about it, ain't nothing to talk about, bro. You like I said, it's a one on the back of this jersey, bro. Don't be playing them games with no females, man. Let her go on about her way. Leave them in hell. Leave them in hell because that's where they comfortable at, bro.
And when it comes to the competition and the earning and all that stuff, men do have to earn their way. But what women may not realize is we earn before we get to you. We go build our business or make our money or become the man that you want to be with before we even meet you. So the earning, the working, the competing comes way before you even come around. We don't build ourselves up. We driving this, or we living here, or we got this, and we're able to do this, or we're saying that. We built our platform up, whatever it is. We did that way before we met you. So we do have to earn your love and affection, but it's way before we even meet you. So we earn women's love and affection without the woman. So when a woman comes, we already got it, because as a man, we have to already have it for us to actually start a long-term relationship or marriage with you. Because if we can't protect and provide for you, you're going to be looking at us crazy anyway. So it don't make no sense for us to start trying to earn you once you get in our face. He ain't the right man for you. So yeah, I ain't never competing for no woman, because I competed for the woman before I even met her.
So answer me something, and this is one I'm gonna go ahead and shoot at some of the people who were in a different R&B era, so to speak. And some great songs, by the way, were made on this pretense. What were reasons why men had to beg and plead on bending knee so much? What exactly were they crying about? And did they have this type of king mentality saying, hey, I'm coming to the table?
No. Listen, let me say this, because I think that era of R&B gets misconstrued. If you go back to the 70s, I always say, and maybe Ricky and Shan chime in, Mr. Lego, we all the same age, whatever. Y'all will chime in better than me, probably. But when I think about the 70s and the late 60s, you know what I'm saying? I always say bring ugly R&B back, right? Them was some ugly dudes, but they would sing their heart out. And you best believe if Eddie Levert was singing to his woman and you talk slick and thought he wasn't gangster and wasn't gonna punch your lights out, yeah, you're gonna rearrange the furniture in your mouth real quick, right? And then what we see in the 80s and the 90s was more or less, to me, it was more about marketing. And that's what you saw really with the R&B. And women were, hyper consumers of that R&B. It wasn't like a lot of dudes tuned into it. The dudes was tuned into it because it was, you was snaking the draws off the woman. You know what I'm saying? And then I have a whole nother class and theory about how music plays a part. And a lot of people think like the music doesn't influence you or this, that, and the third. Man, any dude on this panel, tell me about the rock and roll song you played when you was about to bed your woman down. Tell me about the heavy metal song you played for your woman. We don't do that. So it has a particular type of influence. And I think to your question, and again, maybe the other gentleman can pontificate better than I could on it, but I just think it was more of a marketing scheme. And the more if you follow the money, you see where certain songs and certain artists and certain this and certain that sold more. That's when you continue to, like, when Puffy broke through and turned R&B into like this bad boy genre of R&B. This is where we get the Chris Browns and the Trey Songz, and you know, it ain't no more smooth. It is, but it's not popularized like the smooth R&B, like the Usher R&B. Dead, gone, right? And so for me, it's more about the marketing part of it. I don't think those dudes were really singing from a place of having to beg and plead and this, that, and the third, but they also didn't realize the impact that they made on a generation of men that were actually listening to that and actually tried to live that song out. Shan?
So, go ahead. So Rio, so understand something. There's two eras before the current era that Rilla was just talking about. There's two eras. There's the simp era, and then there's what we call the please, baby, baby, please era. The simp era is not what you're asking about. That's the era I grew up on. Do what you need to do. That was the 112. That was Keith Sweat and all them niggas. That was fucking Teddy Riley. That was R. Kelly. That was them. That was the simp. Do what you want. Do what you got to do for a woman. I just, meet me at the altar in your white dress. We ain't getting no younger. We might as well do this. That's the simp era. In the 70s and beyond was the please, baby, baby, please era. So now you're talking about the stylistics. Now you're talking about Earth, Wind, and Fire, Smokey Robinson, right? Now, the thing about that era where you're asking about, specific to your question, is why was men asking it? Because think of the women that they got versus the women that we get today. Now, I grew up I just had this on Husband Talk earlier today. I grew up 7 hot meals a week. I ate, if we had pizza or some outside food, that was a special. Moms cooked every single night the food from the grocery store. McDonald's was a treat, not an automatic as it is today. You had a woman that rubbed your feet in your back when you came home from the General Motors plant, when you came home from Lockheed building airplanes, when you finished digging ditches and laying electric and laying plumbing pipe and building the country. You had a woman that rubbed that knot out your back. You didn't have to go see a chiropractor. You married one. You had somebody that cooked for you. Your drawers was washed and folded and put away and fresh. Your lunch box. When's the last time somebody seen a man leave the house with his lunch box? Your lunch box was stacked with food that your woman cooked. The please, baby, baby, please era, the stylistics in them was begging for women because they knew that when they got that woman, that's what they were getting. When they got that woman, it was almost like, yo, please, baby, baby, please, I need you in my life because once I get you, I'm going to have a hot meal every night. My children are going to be taught at home in addition to what they learn at school. They won't be shoved with an iPad and told them to watch an iPad and Cocoa Melon all damn day. They will, my clothes will be washed. I will have my suit ready on Sunday. My woman is going to speak up for me in the streets when I'm gone. It was a different woman that you sang, please, baby, baby, please to back in that day. They don't make that model no more. They discontinued that model, right? But what happened was the singers kept singing. The singers in the simp era kept singing, kept kind of singing that tune to a different type woman. That was the baby boomers that they were singing that to. But then Generation X came along and them women wouldn't have it. And plus some of them women from the baby boomers was telling their daughters, don't do that shit. Now you get into the era today where they like, nah, fuck that. I just want to fuck you. I'm gonna fuck, the neighbors can hear my name, as Trey Songz tells everybody. It's all about just Chris Brown to tell you how well he's gonna fuck you, but that's about it. But back then, The reason why they sang Baby, Baby, Please is because the men knew the kind of woman that he was going to get if she said yes to his marriage proposal. And if she said yes in 1966, in 1954, in 1972, he knew what kind of chick he was going to get. And if she worked, it didn't matter. She still did all that shit at home, even if she had a job. Even if she worked herself, she still took care of all that shit at home. So the answer to your question directly is the reason why they sang those songs during the Baby Baby Please era versus the simp era is because they got a different woman. And so those words that they were singing in those songs that Chuck Berry was singing actually mattered and shit. I don't think they matter so much today.
So that makes a lot of sense to me, Shan. I think, listen, I don't know, for the women who's following, I think there was a lot to learn there, because I think, so when I think about these two different eras, you may have brothers singing, would you mind if I touching that kiss and I held you tight until the morning light? That might get you laughed out the room today, right? But we're also in a period where Back That Ass Up is like a national anthem. And that actually might get you some draws. So it seems like we're dealing with a different caliber of woman. And Shan kind of really broke down the difference in caliber. These were actually ladies. Right. To
So,
a form and definition.
right. So what are you competing for?
Right.
Like what's at the end of the race? What's at the top of the mountain? What's on the other side of the tunnel? Just a question.
So, one, to answer your question, because that was a great question. Women now versus women then, they aren't just overall, they aren't worth any of the baby please stuff. It just, you know, the women, you know, and I don't want to be like back in my day. Women back then were smaller, better, more feminine. Like women these days are, you know, not all of them, but I say 70% of the women are trash. You know, it's just like, it's so many different reasons. The attitude, the fake hair and all this shit. Back then, during the baby please era, chicks were not wearing wigs. Not one chick wore a wig. Not one chick wore some stupid looking eyelashes. None of the chicks wore all this stupid shit.